Alright, so I just saw X-Men Dark Phoenix, or as they're calling it in the marketing, just Dark Phoenix, um, which is thankfully the last film in this X-Men series, which has been dying slow, painful, cringeworthy, last death ever since Logan. I mean, this thing it's just been a train wreck to watch. Thankfully, though, thankfully, Dark Phoenix isn't a train wreck, although there is a train wreck in the movie, which is oddly weird symbolism. But this one is directed by Simon Kinberg. They kicked Bryan Singer off because of some funky shit he was doing. And they hired the guy who's been writing these films since Last Stand. Yeah, he wrote Last Stand. He wrote Days of Future Past. He wrote Apocalypse, which is like, oh boy, that's a quality drop. And then he wrote and directed this one. It is a retelling of the Dark Phoenix saga again, because these movies they only have like three stories that they like to tell, and Dark Phoenix seems to be their favorite one because they keep remaking it over and over again, and you think they learned from the last stand. But anyway, basically this movie they pride themselves on taking more from the source material. Yeah, that didn't do them any favors. So the movie, like I said, it's directed by Simon Kinberg. It stars everybody from First Class. So it stars James McAvoy as Charles Xavier, Michael Fassbender as Magneto. Look, listen. If you're watching this review, you know who plays who. It's stupid for me to run through the cast list. You already know who's playing these characters. You just want to know if the movie's good or not. The movie's fine. Like on the scale of X-Men movies, it's not the worst. It's not the best. Um, it's not even right in the middle. It's better than Origins. It's better than Last Stand. Um, I kind of like it better than First Class, but that's just me. It's fine. It does a better job of telling the Dark Phoenix saga, even though it weirdly rushes through stuff. Like it opens with them in space, and the space, like the first act of this movie, is pretty good. Like the space mission that they go on, they sort of rush to it. Um, uh, uh, the movie opens with, well, it actually opens with a flashback. If you've seen, well, the movie opens with a flashback, which will be relevant later in the movie because they keep showing that flashback. But the movie opens up with a flashback, and then it cuts to the X-Men going into space to rescue a NASA mission that has gone horribly wrong. And when they get up there, they encounter what appears to be a solar flare. And this whole sequence kept reminding me of the first Fantastic Four movie. I don't know why, but when you see it, or if you've seen it, you'll know it just kept reminding me of the first Fantastic Four movie. Um, um, but the solar flare is actually a cosmic being called the Phoenix Force. They don't call it the Phoenix Force, but that's what it is. It gets sucked into Jean. Jean goes into coma. She wakes up. She's evil. I mean, that's basically what happens in the movie. She wakes up and she's evil. And the other X-Men try to either kill her or save her. And then there's Jessica Chastain who just sort of walks into the movie and glowers. And she has a deadpan voice. And she talks like this. And she's ultra serious. Um, there's a lot going on in this movie. A lot of it is just okay. Simon Kinberg, he's not the best director considering this is his first job. He does okay with the action scenes. It's the character parts that he just can't really get right, and I don't think he's good at actors. Because you got some great actors here, and they're kind of just reading their lines. It's sort of like everybody's doing a table read. The kid actors were acting their asses off, and the actors who've been there since first class, except for James McAvoy, who's always acting his ass off, Fassbender sort of sleeping through it. Jennifer Lawrence keeps nodding off and then waking up in the middle of her scenes. It was really weird. Um, uh, Nicholas Holt is kind of cool, but he only has one facial expression, which is so it's kind of hard to take him seriously. Uh, uh, they don't. These films don't do Cyclops any favors. I mean, they just don't. Cyclops is a bitch in all these movies. I kind of like that because I don't like Cyclops, but hey. Um, uh, it's but it just rushes through plot points. Like it goes from beat to beat to beat to beat to beat. It doesn't let the scenes breathe. It doesn't let time catch up with it. There's no sense of urgency. They tell you that there's a sense of urgency, but there's really no sense of urgency. Um, they try to shoehorn in a relationship between Jean Grey and Cyclops so you feel something, but they introduce Cyclops in Apocalypse, And by the end of the movie, they're a couple, and in this, they're living together. We sort of missed that whole period where they, went through the courses of a normal relationship. In this, they're sort of just like, you know, it's really weird the way that things do this. I forgot that they introduced Nightcrawler in Apocalypse. I saw this movie and Nightcrawler was in, it, and I'm like, where the fuck did Nightcrawler come from? I'm like, oh yeah. Halfway through the movie, I'm like, oh yeah, he was in Apocalypse, wasn't he? Huh, that's weird. I forgot all about that movie. Jessica Chastain, like I said, is wasted. She doesn't do anything in this movie. They say her character name once, and it's weird because they want to call her Landra, who was from the original source material, but they don't. I'm assuming she's a made-up character. That's the only reason for it. The relationship between they don't do anything with Charles Xavier and Magneto that you haven't seen before. Um, and all these movies have the same plot. I was watching this movie and I realized all these movies have the same plot. There's a mutant that the X-Men are close to, they become too powerful, or they get this wild hair up their ass, and they go on this destructive rampage, and the X-Men have to either choose have to tell them to either change their ways or kill them. That happens in every fucking X-Men movie, and it's really annoying that they keep recycling the same plot points over. You'd think that the guy who's been writing these movies since the beginning would learn something, but no, listen. Um, if you need an escape, if it's hot where you are because it's the summer and you're looking for an air conditioning place, go see the movie. If not, then just wait till it comes on on streaming or Netflix. It should be there pretty soon. It's honestly it's unnecessary that they made this movie, which kind of sucks. But that's how Hollywood is.